What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hello and welcome. I have the new Unearthly Cosmetics Gargoyle palette for today's video, and I'm excited about this one. Unearthly is one of my top 5 favorite indie brands, so I get excited every time they release a new palette. Are they always favorites? Do I get along with every color story? No, but that's okay. It doesn't make me any less excited when they release a new palette. But this, I love this one. This is one of their Halloween launches. I don't know if more is coming. We did already have the Night Terror mystery box, and now we have this collection. There could be more. I don't know. I'm not affiliated with the brand. This wasn't sent to me or anything like that. I did purchase this with my own money, but this is so beautiful. I love the artwork with the gargoyle, and the color story on the inside is 100% on theme. This is giving me all of like the spooky Halloween vibes, and I'm here for it. Now, before we dive into this palette and create our looks, I want to give you a close-up swatches and all of the details on this palette. So this is an 18 pan palette. You do get 10 mattes and 8 shifty shimmers in this one, and like I said, I love the color story. I love the combination of cool tones with this row of neutrals up here and this pop of like this reddish purple burgundy shimmer. I think it is so beautiful. You've got your purples, you've got your blues, you've got your greens, and the shimmers in here, I have a feeling are going to be absolutely beautiful. I love the Unearthly shimmers, and I'm excited to play with this one. Now, it does retail for $68. It is currently available on the Unearthly website, so I will have it linked down below in the description box, as well as everything else that I used in this video to complete my look. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything, always check down there, because I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's go ahead and zoom in, prime my eyes, and get to creating our 2 looks. Alright, so we're zoomed in and my eyes are primed and ready to go. I went in with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base again because my eyes are still a little bit on like the dry textured side. They're getting better, but I still want to use that one because it's a little bit more hydrating. But let's go ahead and pop into this palette and create our first look. So obviously I want to play with this purple right here. Nobody's surprised. This blue is really calling my name though. But I think for the first look, I want to play with this corner over here. It's really intriguing me. I don't normally go for grays, but there's something about this combination of the gray with like this really like deep denim blue shade that is calling my name. So I'm going to start out with this shade right here. This one is called Deep Sleep. It's a really pretty like slate gray shade. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a BK Beauty 212 brush, and I am going to pop this into my crease. I'm going to bring it over across and kind of build up the depth and the definition that I want. Now I am going in very light-handed because Unearthly mattes are very pigmented. What you see in the pan is what you are going to get on your eye. You don't have to build them up. You don't get fallout, patching, skipping, or anything like that. And look at that. I barely dipped into the palette and the pigmentation is there. So next I'm going to go into this deep denim blue shade right here. This one is called Darkest Hour. I'm going to pick this up with my Singe Beauty EO4 brush, and I'm going to put this in my outer corner, building up the depth and definition that I want. And I think I'm going to bring it about almost halfway over on my lid. Not quite halfway over, but pretty close. That's really pretty. I love that shade. It is going on really nicely. I will say these don't seem to be quite as pigmented right off the bat as from what I have seen from Unearthly before, which I'm okay with. I find that to be a little easier to work with, but I am definitely able to build this up to look like what it does in the palette. And again, I'm not getting any patching, any skipping, any fallout, and there is like minimal kick up in the pan with this shade. Alright, so I'm going back with that first gray shade, same brush, just a little bit of extra product, and I'm just going right along the edges of that blue shade I just put down to make sure that everything is nice and blended. I don't have any harsh lines, and everything just kind of melts and is very cohesive. For the lower lash line, I want to go into this bright, vibrant blue shade over here. This one is called Midnight. So I'm going to pick it up with a Sigma E33 brush, and I am just very lightly going to fluff this along my lower lash line. I'm not trying to keep it really tight and precise, but I don't want to bring it super far down either. I just want to have this nice pop of bright blue on the lower lash line. Now this one has the pigmentation that I know from Unearthly. Like, look at that. I just dipped in twice and it is there. So with the same brush that I just used on my lower lash line, I just cleaned it off really good. I'm going to go into this black shade over here, which is called Cathedral Shadows. And I am very lightly going to pop this into my outer corner, giving just that little bit of depth that I want. I want this to be like a deep, smoky blue look. And I feel like this is really going to give me that extra pop of depth in that outer corner. I'm also going to bring it down onto the outer portion of my lower lash line as well, but not very far over, just right on the outer corner. My lid is primed with my NYX glitter primer. Let's pop into these sparkles in this palette. So I want to go into this shade right here. It's this really pretty, like shifty multi-chrome shade. It has like a gorgeous, what is that, like a purple to a green to a blue shift with all kinds of beautiful sparkles in it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up on my finger. It's called Mystic Stone, and we're going to put this one all over my lid. Oh, that is such a beautiful shade. All right, let's pop this on. It does feel a little bit on the drier side, but it doesn't feel gritty or textured or anything like that. It just doesn't have like that smooth, wet feeling to it, but it went on so beautifully. Look at that reflection. Look at how beautiful. It's not emphasizing texture. It doesn't feel heavy. It's laying down nice and smooth as well. Next, I want to go in with this shade down here called Night Watcher. It's a really pretty deep blue shimmer with like some really pretty reflective sparkles in it. And I just want to put this right here where the matte and the shimmer meet to kind of blend everything together so we don't have any harsh lines and we have a nice flow from the outer corner all the way over across the lid. For the inner corner, I want to go in with this multi-chrome over here. This one is called Awaken, and it's a really pretty like gold, green, pink, white, little bit of everything shifty shade. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up with my Singe Beauty EO1 that I am throwing around down here, and I'm going to spray it with a little bit of my MAC Fix Plus per usual, and we're just going to pop this in to the inner corner of my lid. So I have it picked up, spray, and right there. And with the multi-chrome, I think this is really going to kind of pick up on the shifts and the sparkle and kind of blend everything together. Yeah, I love that. That is so, so pretty. All right, y'all, so this is the first completed look with this palette, and I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. I am loving the dark, smoky, grungy look that this one is giving. The shimmers on the lid are so beautiful and smooth and shifty, and I didn't have any issues playing with the mattes in this palette. So far, so good, but we still have another look to create. So let me show you what I used to finish off this look so we can jump into that one. So to line my lid and in my lower waterline, I went in with a NYX Beetlejuice Pinstripe Duo Liner. This is in the shade Purple Chrome, but it's more of a blurple than it is a true purple, so it kind of pulled a little bit more blue once I put it in the waterline, but I do think it kind of tied in with that shimmer that I have on the lid. And then of course I finished it off with my Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize mascara. But let's go ahead and do our second look because I am dying to play with this purple shade right here. I want to put this on my lid. I want to play with this one, maybe even this one as well. I can't decide exactly what I want to do, but I want to do something a little bit, not quite as deep. It's still gonna have that depth to it because this is a deeper palette, but I think starting out, I want to go in with this really pretty green shade right here and kind of pop it on the inner portion of my lid and my crease and on my lower lash line. So that shade is called Grim Morning. I'm going to pick that one up with, let's go in with this one. This is a BK Beauty 211 brush. And like I said, I'm going to start in my inner corner and I'm going to bring this like up into my crease, down onto my lower lash line. I'm going to bring it about halfway over, and then the other half, I think we're going to go in with that really pretty purple shade and kind of do a combination of like green and purple for this look. All right, so I changed my mind just a little bit. We're still gonna go in with this purple shade, but before I do that, I wanna go in with this really pretty, like dusty sky blue shade down here. This one is called Veil. So I'm gonna pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO3 brush, and I'm gonna put this on like the rest of the outer portion of my lid. Wow, that is more pigmented than I expected it to be, which I'm not surprised, but it was just a little bit more. But I'm gonna put that into my crease, and I'm gonna bring it up a little bit and over to that first green shade that we put in, just kind of tying everything together, because the blue is gonna tie the purple together just a little bit more, since purple does have that blue pigment in it, and I didn't want it to mud out or clash next to the green completely. So I think that's gonna be a really good bridge shade for this look. I'm going to bring that shade down onto my lower lash line as well, just kind of mirroring everything I have going on my lid and wrapping it around, and then we'll go in with that purple shade. All right, now I'm ready to go into this purple shade right here. This one is called Sinister Figure. I'm gonna pick this one up with a BK Beauty 203 brush, and per usual, I am going to pop this in to my outer corner, building up the depth and definition. And I don't think I'm gonna go any darker than this shade right here. I think I'm gonna leave the black alone for this one. I wanna keep this one not quite as deep and smoky as the other one. It's still gonna have that depth out here, but I don't want to take it as bright. I'm going to take that down onto the very outer edge of my lower lash line as well. Just like I did with the black over here, I'm just doing it with the purple. I just want to make sure that everything kind of wraps around and it's nice and cohesive. All right, so once again, my eye is primed and ready for some shimmer. So for this one, I think I want to go in with this shade right here. It's another really pretty, like shifty multi-chrome shade. This one is called Guardian, and I'm going to put this one all over my lid. So I'm going to pick that up on my finger. It definitely has like a strong gold undertone to it, but it has that little bit of like purple, pink, green shift to it. And I feel like it's really going to tie this whole look together. All right, so I'm going to add just a little bit of this purple shimmer right here called Forgotten Fortress, and I'm going to just pick this up on my finger and pop it right here on my outer corner where that matte and that shimmer meet, just to kind of blend everything together a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. I think it definitely needed that. All right, y'all, so this is the second completed look with this palette, and this one's by far my favorite. I love the way that it turned out. The color combination, the shimmers, the way that it just kind of blends and moves across my eye, I think is absolutely stunning. Don't get me wrong, I like the first one too, but this one is one I could see myself recreating time and time again, because I just love the way that it turned out. But let me show you what I used to finish off this look so we can turn down the light, see the shifts, the shimmer, the sparkle, and then I'll give you my first initial impression thoughts. So in my lower waterline, I went in with a Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner. This is in the shade Seafoam. It just kind of matches that green shade that's on the inner portion of my lid. And then I use the liquid liner side of the NYX Beetlejuice Pinstripe Duo liner that I used for this look over here. And of course, finished it off with my Charlotte Tilbury mascara. All right, y'all, so first impression, I really like this palette. I had a lot of fun playing with it and creating these two looks. I love that I got two very different looks as well. The first one is very dark, very smoky, very grungy, which is what you would expect from looking at this color story. But the second look is a little lighter, a little brighter. It's giving more of like a spring grunge look. And I think that really showcases the versatility with this palette. But as far as the packaging goes, I love it. It's the good, sturdy cardboard packaging from Unearthly. I love the cover art on the front, and I think it's very on theme. You also get a nice mirror in here as well, which is always a plus in my eyes. But I love the color story in here. Yes, it is a cool tone color story. We have been seeing a lot of those lately, and I don't think it's anything new or innovative, but I do like the color combination in here. It is a larger 18 pan palette, but there's not any color overlap in here, which is what I really appreciate. And like I said, I think there's a lot of variety and versatility with this palette. I know a lot of people would say you could get rid of like this top neutral row, but I like that there's a top neutral row in this palette. I think it's going to appeal to a lot more people, especially people who can't go super colorful on the day-to-day for work and things like that, or maybe they just don't want to. So you could 100% go in here and create a neutral look and then throw in a pop of color with your shimmer, or maybe one of these lighter shades on the inner corner, or you could do like a dark gray and black smoky look as well. Like I said, there's a lot of versatility with this palette and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I don't think this is overly big. I don't think it needs to be pared down. I think this is very well thought through and very well curated. As far as the formula in here goes, this is a beautiful formula. It's exactly what I expect from Unearthly. I will say I did find some of the mattes to be a little bit more on the buildable side, which is not typically normal for Unearthly. It's normally what you see in the pan is what you're gonna get on your eye instantly. And when I put this first gray shade on, it was a little bit more on the buildable side. I wasn't mad about that because when I get into darker shades, I like them to be a little bit more buildable. But then when I went in with this blue shade down here, you saw it was like, bam, that is what I got on my eye, and I love that. But I didn't have any issues with the shades in here. I didn't get any patching, skipping, muddiness, fallout. They performed beautifully. They blended out really nicely. I was able to kind of shear out the edges, and I like the formula in here. The shimmers I thought were beautiful as well. They're not like a super smooth, wet, or putty-like texture. They are a little bit on the drier side, not like an uncomfortable, gritty, textured, or heavy dry, just not a full-on like wet feeling to them, if you catch what I'm throwing down. But I think they look beautiful on the lid. They're not accentuating texture. They are shifty, they are sparkly, they are reflective, and they went on really nicely. I'm excited about this palette. Like I said, I get excited about Unearthly, but this one is probably one of my favorite releases of the year, next to the, what was it, the horror palette that they released in the, I'm drawing a complete blank, y'all. The first one that they released with all the purples in it that ranked #1 in my last ranking. I cannot think of the name of it right now, but those two I think are like my two favorites that they have released for this year. I think this is a fantastic Halloween release. I'm excited to see what else the brand is gonna do, but I can't wait to play with this one some more. I've got some other looks in my head that I can't wait to create, but that is going to complete this video. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Did you pick up this palette? Are you an Unearthly fan? If you are, what is your favorite palette? Which is your favorite look? I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section, and as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.